Hello, and what we're gonna be doing is building the auto that you guys received for your coolest app challenge winnings. So the instructions that I have up on the screen can be found from this QR code in your package. So just have those open next in your computer, and with those instructions, the first page has all the parts you're gonna have. So I'll go through those. So you're gonna need your head, with all the electronics using including an eye looking thing and the circuit board inside, which should have this chip inside of it. Okay. And also you'll need all your 3D printer parts, including the body, the two legs, and the 2 feet. Okay. So after you have those, make sure you have all those parts. And then another thing you have is the switch and the battery. The batteries are not included, just the battery holder. You're gonna have to put your own batteries in here. They're AA batteries, like normal batteries. And then in your bags with the blue looking things, you should have these blue looking things right here. They're called servos, so you'll be referring to me saying them as servos. Um, and just for reference, they're these blue little things. So they should be in a bag, and there should be another bag inside them, and they should have a bunch of screws, right? So you should have 4 of those. So you should have a bunch of screws right here. So just so you know, there's a bigger screw. So this is the bigger screw. It has like the big head on it right here. And then the smaller screw is small. You should be able to tell the difference between the big screw and the small screw. And there's also less small screws and more big screws. So you just have those next to you. And in each of those, you should have these little white looking thingies. Those are called servo horns. So all you need for this project are 2 of the chopped ones with 4 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 of the chopped ones with 2 sides. So only 2. And then 1 of the just one-sided ones. Okay. And now we'll start getting with the building. Oh, first, wait. We need to talk about the tools because those are important. Just a normal screwdriver with a crosshead, a plus, whatever you call it. And this can be a flathead or a minus or a flat or a plus. And the important thing about this screwdriver is it has to fit through this hole right here. If you see, you have this hole right here, and it has to fit through this hole and go all the way to the end where the other hole is. It has to go all the way through there. And make sure this is not too big, okay? So after you have that done, now we'll actually start getting building, okay? So we're gonna go to step 1. Okay, so now we're gonna put the servos into the main body. So I'll close that. And then, so we need for step 1, the body right here. This piece that's big and says Auto DIY and has the coderdojo on it. And then you also need 2 of the servos, or the blue things. So these bodies have the little holes here. So they have little holes, and those match up with the holes on your servo, like this. So what you're just gonna do, you're just gonna turn it upside down and just slot them into the hole. Just line them up, and then you should just press in, and it should look like this at the back. Make sure they're fully popped in so you can easily screw them in. And just do the same thing with the other servo. So do it right into here. They might be stiff or loose, that doesn't matter. So now you should have your 2 servos in here. So then what we need to do, we'll go to step 2. Okay, step 2 says we need 4 long bolts. So you have to get 4 of the long screws. So I can close this. You need to get 4 of the long screws, and we're going to screw these servos in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 long screws now. And just for comparison, these are the short screws. That's a short screw, this is a long screw. Just make sure you don't get those mixed up. And this is the part where it's nice to have a magnetic screwdriver, so you can just easily do this. So then what you need to do is you should see right here, where is it? Okay, there's a tiny hole right there. If I can bring it into the camera. Right there. There's a hole. You need to screw the screw into the hole. It might be a little hard, but it should go in. So right, make sure it goes in. Okay. So right here. So it should thread in right here. And there should be the same type of hole on the other side. So like right there. I can point to it. So right here. See, there's the same type of hole. Let me move these wires out of the way. Like right there. There should be another hole. As you can see right there. So you need to screw the screw into that hole too. Okay. And like I said, it might be a little hard as the first time, but you should get the hang of it. Okay, there we go. It does take a little bit of force to screw them in, but it's possible. Okay, so then you just have to do the same on the other side. So these 2 screws are in right here and right there. Now you just need to do the same on the other side with your other 2 screws. Just make sure they're in fully. Okay, there. So what we can do now is so now you should have both of them like this, and they should be screwed in so you can't push them back out. And you can just put these wires to the side. So now you can put this side away, and what we're gonna do next is go to step 3. So this chopping part has already been done for you, so you don't need to worry about that. So we need to put our 4-sided servo horns into our legs. So press that. So get your 4-sided chopped white piece things. So they should have 4 sides and they should be chopped. And then your 2 legs. So like this. We'll put this to the side. Okay. And then what you need to do, the side with this hole on it, right here, inside of it, there's like a little cutout that this servo horn can fit through. If I can get it into view, like you see here, there's like a little cutout, and the servo horn fits perfectly into it. So the long side goes onto the longer side. So it should just fit in like this. If you see it at the end here, it should fit in like that. Okay, and then you can do the same for the other side. So the long side and the short side, and then you can put the longer side in, and then it should just fit it like this. Okay. So after those are done, we're gonna go back to the instructions. And oh, oops, sorry. So now we're gonna attach these to the actual body, so you can get your body back again. So now what we're gonna do is attach these. Okay. So this is very important. So make sure you don't mess this up. Just pay attention. So make sure you're holding your body facing you. So these holes right here, these like two holes, should be facing you. And then this cutout right here, this cutout that looks like a just the cutout here. This side is the bump, and this side's the cutout. That side's also facing you. And what you need to do, just hold on in the middle and like this. And what you should be able to do is just push it on to the thing. Just push it onto the servo. It should just slot on. And when you turn it, it should move 180 degrees in each way. So it should go from here all the way to here. Mine's a little off. So what I can do, I can just take it off and then just push it back on. So you see, it moves. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but what you have to, it should just turn from here to here, like that. So this side where my hand can fit through, if I turn it, it shouldn't turn this way where there's just empty space. It should turn the way there's holes. So it should turn the way there is the hole. So it should turn from the empty side from here to here and rotating this way like this. And the instruction explained this too. So just look at it like in the instructions. Another key factor that tells you it's correct is these holes right here. I can show you. These holes should line up like yeah, I don't think it's worth that. So then do the same for the other one. So you see, just hold it down with your finger in the middle and then click, not click, sorry. And it should spin the same amount. So mine's a little too much. You see how it goes way too much. So what you want to do, just try and make it so it spins 180 degrees. So let's see. Okay, whoops, sorry. Okay, so you see here, my finger can fit through here, and it spins like this. And it goes 180 degrees. That's a little too much. So I can put it down. Yep. So like this. Now it spins 180 degrees. Like that. And like that. Just make sure you do this correctly. So then it should look like this. And so the holes, these holes where my finger can fit through should be on this side. Okay. So now they can spin and spin the other way. Okay. So now what we want to do is go to the next step. So we look at it. So now we're going to use the small screws and screw these in so they don't fall off. It wouldn't be fun to have your legs fall off. So what we want to do is get our small screws. So like here's the big screw. We don't want those. We want the tiny screws. Like those right there. So you can take the big screws away. Get two of your tiny screws, and what we're gonna do is just screw them into the hole. So there should be like a hole in the middle. Just, oops, sorry. And put them into the middle. Right there. And you don't have to push it in too much. Just put it in until you feel a little bit of resistance. Like, It's hard to put it in. So it should just go in like that. Like that. In the middle. And then the other one should go in the same way I just showed you. Okay. So now they're screwed in, so they shouldn't come off now. If they do, then you have to screw them in tighter. So now we're gonna go into the next step. So step number 6 is working on the feet now. So what we want to do is now we want to put this whole assembly aside and get our other 2 servos right here, and our two-sided horns that are cut. They should be 2-sided right here, not the 4-sided or 1-sided ones. So once you have those, make sure you're holding the servos that the wire is going down. So this side, this wire, the wire coming out right here is facing downwards like this. So it shouldn't be upwards like this. It should be facing downwards. Okay? And what you need to do is you need to put these these things on right here. Just put them on, and then once you have that, they should turn 180 degrees again. And make sure this time the top side spins on the top, not make sure the top side spins on the top, not on the bottom, not like this. You don't want it spinning like you don't want it spinning like this. This is wrong. You see the top side's like on the shoulder, it's like off the edge, and it spins this way. We don't want that. We want it to spin oops, sorry. We want to spin this way, 180 degrees. The instructions also explain this, if you didn't understand. So from here to here. I'll just show the instructions. So you see, it shows that the top side should be on the short side right here, where there's more space, and then it should be spinning from here to here, like that. So now we have to do that to both of them. So just hold it so the wire is facing down, put it on like this, and then they should be spinning from here to here, 180 degrees. Okay, so after that's done, we'll move on to step 7. We can put those aside for now. So step 7, we have to get our 2 feet pieces now and get back those 2 servos we had right here. So I'll close this. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slot these in. So hold them in there, put them so they're straight like this. So they're straight up and down, and straight up and down, and then just put them into the hole. This should be pretty self-explanatory. They won't just slide in like this. You have to like push it in. So I can't show this that well, but you can see it should be like this at the end. It's not going to fit because it's gonna fall out. Just hold it there. And then the other one, do the same thing with it. So like this. So you should have these two like that. And then we'll open up our instruction again. Okay, so now we want to get both our small screws and our big screws. So we want 2 small screws and 2 big screws, okay? So we want 2 small screws and then 2 big screws. Get your big screw, and basically what you need to do, you need to screw into the tiny hole. There's a tiny hole there. Put the big screw into the tiny hole like this, and then you might need to put a little bit of force, but it should go in. So I'll screw that in. Okay, and then get your tiny screw and put it in the big hole. So the big hole, and then there should be like a tiny space where it can go in, and put it into there. Okay, so now it should be able to spin in here, and it shouldn't come out that easily. It should be in there. And what you have to do, just the same for the other motor. So I'll just explain it once again. So big screw goes into tiny hole, and tiny screw goes into big hole. A little difficult. A little bit of effort to screw it in. Okay. So now it should be in. So next what you need to do is just do the same process for the tiny screw into big hole. So just to the small hole there, right there. And it should go in. Okay. So now it should turn like the other one. It turn flat, and then the other side flat. Okay? And it should be pretty hard to take out. Not that you want to do that, but yeah. So make sure the servos are in the upright position, not flat. Make sure they're upright. Okay? So you can put those aside, and we'll go on to step 9. So go down. And now we attach everything together. So basically, get the body piece and your 2 feet pieces right here. And basically what you have to do is just slot them in. So the side with the servo, it should be pretty self-explanatory, but the empty side, so the side that has nothing in it, so this empty side right here, this side right here that doesn't have this servo horn in it, needs to go onto the bump right here. So you need to like slot it onto the bump, and this servo should slot inside. And when you're doing that, make sure you take the wire and route it through the, it's kind of hard to explain, route it through the hole right there. You should be able to see the hole. So if I do that, shouldn't be that hard. Like like this. Now you can just push that in with your hands, and you can use your screwdriver to help you. Make sure you don't cut any wires. And then it should show up on the other side here. I'll just pull it through, and then you'll see it. Okay. If I can pull this through. Okay. Yep. So it should show up on this side. So it went through this hole right there. See, you should be able to see that there's like a hole, and you can fit the wire through, and then you should be able to slot in the servo. There's only one way you can go in, so it shouldn't be that bad. So you see this, the side that's empty is going onto the, oh sorry, that's the wrong way. Make sure the feet is facing out. So this is the wrong side, so we have to take this out. Oops. So this goes on this side actually, so make sure the feet is, we have to thread the wire again. Oops. Sorry. Okay, got it. So it might take a little bit of effort if yours are not trimmed perfectly. So, but it should still go in. So after it's in, you should see it on the other side. So after that, you can pull it through, and you should be able to just attach it. So you can go like this. So it should just slot on like that. So the servo side is in there, and the empty side has gone onto the ball. And the servo side is like this. So the feet should be facing outwards, not inwards. Okay? Now you can do the same for the other one. Like this. This one should be a little easier. It's trimmed better. Okay, it's in. Almost. Okay, there you go. Now the wire is on the other side, and we can just attach it the same way. Okay, like that. So now we have like the feet part. So it should look like this. They're like loose, but we'll tighten those. So next step 10, we are going to do the other leg. Wait, that's step 10. We already did that, and that one's already like that. So now we're on actually step 12. So step 12, we're gonna need the special screwdriver that we have here, and 2 long screws. So get your 2 long screws, and we'll get working. So this screwdriver is not magnetic, so it's gonna be a little harder to do this, but I think it should be possible because Many people have done it. So the holes you have on this side, right here and right here, and your two long screws, you should see the hole that you did the other time. So just put it, if you have a magnetic screwdriver, this will be very helpful. And you might need a magnetic screwdriver. Just put it into this hole right here, like how, oh, make sure it's fully into the seated position before you put it in. And what I mean by seated position, after I get this screw out. Okay, got it out. What I mean, it's like fully pressed in, so it can accept the screw. Oops. Okay, there you go. So it should look like, oops, this is not cooperating. So you see the hole in there, and then you can use a screwdriver from the outside and just screw it in. Okay. So it should just screw in like that easily. It is hard to get in, but once you've got it in, it's pretty easy to screw. Okay, there you go. So in the end, it should look like that right there. Right there, it should look like that. Oops, not focusing. Yep, but you get the idea. You can do the same thing for the other side. Make sure it's fully seated, and put the screw in and tighten it. So, oops, sorry. Okay. Now tighten it. Okay. So you see, I did it for the other one now. It's there. Hopefully you can see that right there, screwed in. So now you shouldn't be able to pull these out, and you shouldn't be able to pull these out either. It might be a little loose on the other side, but it shouldn't come off. Okay, now the main body assembly is done. Now we'll move on in the instructions. So we already did this part for you. So what we need to do is we need to connect our stuff now. So get your electronics piece right here, and you should see where the side of the, oh, let me close the manual. You should see right here where it has the markings 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. See 2, 3, 4, and 5. You should see those right, like on the yellow pins, like here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those correspond to in the instructions. As you can see, left leg, right leg, and foot right and foot left. So the coderdojo, where you have the coderdojo symbol, is the front. So you need to base everything off the front. So right leg and left leg, you need to be looking at it from the back actually. So where the writing Otto DIY is, this like writing here, you need to be basing it off that, and you need to connect the leg right, leg left, and foot left and foot right. So just trace down those wires. So this would be right here because it's connected to the servo right here. This would be leg right. So this would be connected to pin 3. So I can find it here. So pin 3 and then connect it there. And one thing to be careful about is you see this orange wire. The orange wire always faces down. Make sure you're looking at it with the eyes facing down, and then the orange wire also always faces down. Like this. So pin 3 right there. Like that. Okay. So then you just follow that for the other one. So left leg, so this one right here, because it's connected to the left leg, goes to pin 2. So always signal wire down. Pin 2. Like this. Focus on me. Like that. And now these ones on the bottom, they should have these separate wires. So then that would be foot left, which is connected to 4, like this. And then foot right, which is connected to 5. So in the end, your wiring should look like this. 2, 3, 4, and 5, corresponding to the instructions. Make sure those are which ones. And then it should correspond to how it looks in the diagram. Should be able to base it off of that. Okay. So then what we can do now is now go to step 15. This stuff, we've included the eye for you, but not the wires or the buzzer. So you don't need to worry about that. That's another thing. You don't need to worry about that either. You can base that, your wiring off of this too. And then we already attached the board in for you. So that's done. We've already screwed it in. So now we need to work on the battery holder part. So what you need is your battery. Just make sure you put your batteries in. And then before you do this part, make sure to put your batteries in and get your switch. So your switch goes into this part right here. It goes into your, there should be a square hole. Kind of hard to show now because there's all these wires. There should be a square hole right there with the square, and then there's a hole there. You put your switch into there. So like this. You'll operate. They should all fit. Okay, so just put your switch in there. Sorry. Okay. So this should just fit in there. It might come out, so just put it back in. So get one of your big screws now for step 20. So for step 20, we have to get our one-sided, and then there should be like a tiny little, oops, like, let me close the instructions. There should be like a tiny little hole there, and it should be like round, and it should help you find where to put it. So you can put your servo horn inside there. I'm just using a screwdriver to help me. So you can just push it in there and it should just fit right in. Okay, like that. So you see, I'll show you right there. See, it just fits in right there. It should fit in. And use your big screw to tighten it down, as it says in step 21. Yep, in 21 it says tighten it down. So use your big screw that you have. You have lots of extras, but this is the last screw you'll need. So just screw it in the hole. It'll be pretty self-explanatory there. Okay, so now last thing we'll need to do is connect our battery to our board. So you should have a red wire and then a brown wire. So your red wire will go, this is very important. So your red wire connects to the middle pin, the middle row, and then your brown wire connects to the top row. So it should be labeled with G and V. I'll show you after I've connected it. Okay, so like this. You can see, oh, sorry. It's lots of wires in the way. Okay, so now you should see it. So the red wire is connected, not focusing, okay. So it's V, in the V row, where it says V, the red wire is connected. Mine is pink, but your red wire will be connected there. And then where it says G, that should be where your brown wire is connected. So make sure this is correct. Double check it like 5-10 times, just to make sure that's correct. It should look like mine, but instead of purple and pink and gray, it should be red and brown. So make sure it's like that. V, red wire, and then G should be brown wire. Then what you want to do is, let's look at instructions. We don't have that stuff. So now you should take your battery, and there should be, just clear out all the wires from there, and there should be like a little tiny like space for it in here. Make sure you clean out all the wires and plug it in right here. So it should like just slot in like right here. And then what you can do is just close the cover. So basically just make sure no wires get unplugged, and just like stuff all the wires in basically. And one important part is make sure your eyes right here are facing your coderdojo, are the same side as your coderdojo logo. Mine doesn't have it, but should be the same. Your coderdojo logo should be here, and your eyes should be here this time too. And then you should just be able to clip it in, like, oops, sorry. Like, oh, it's kind of hard because there's so many wires. There should be like little, oops, why can't I show it? There's like little holes and there's little clips. Then you can just align those up and then they'll just slot. Okay. You should hear like a satisfying snap. Oops, sorry. The wire is out. That's not good. Okay. Okay, now you hear a satisfying snap. All your code is already on here. So what you need to do, you just need to get your screwdriver. And the switch should be the blue button here. And you just need to press it. And it'll start moving. So now your auto is done, and you can get a cable to upload new code to it, and you can ask one of our mentors for help on how to do that. And you can also connect the eye up, and you can also ask our mentors for help to do that. So I'll turn this off loud. So that's your Otto, and bye.